In this video, I will be showing how I created this model using Spring. So to create this model, we need three shapes: the trapezoid, the rectangle, and the circle. So first, I created two classes, the trapezoid and the trapezoid renderer. So here in the trapezoid class, since the trapezoid is a shape, I will be implementing it to the shape interface. Then to form a trapezoid, it has three distinct features: the top, the base, and the height. And for the top, I named it a short base. Then for the base, the long base. Then here for height. Then here we have location, since all shapes have location as what we defined here. Then after that, I used getter and setter for what I defined here. So to draw our trapezoid, I created another class, the trapezoid renderer. And so here I implemented it to render, since I want to draw the shape, the trapezoid shape. And since this is a trapezoid, I define trapezoid here and also cast trapezoid here. And this line, this is to display what we want for our trapezoid. So here we have trapezoid is drawn at location X, then Y, and for our height and top, then base. Then for our car, here for our car class, I added some features such as the chassis, the front inner wheel, the rear inner wheel, and the headlights. And all that what was defined here will have getter and setter. So here. Then to draw our car, we have the car render class. So these are the instructions to draw our car. So this is to draw our car shape. This is for our body. So we have the trapezoid here, trapezoid renderer. Then for our chassis, we have the rectangle renderer. Then this is for all the circle shapes in our car. So we have the circle renderer. So this is for the headlights. For our wheels, we have the front wheels and the rear wheels. So here in our test class, we could see that our configuration file is in the application context.xml. And this line here, this is to create our object. So here we could see the carbon, and this carbon can be seen here in our application context.xml. So this is our carbon, and we could see that, and these properties could be seen in our car class as what was stated here. So So here, for the location here, it is this one. Then for our chassis, it is this one for the body, and for the rest of what was written here in our car class. Then also we could see that in our car class, all of what was defined here are reference type. So we use ref here. So this means that the objects here are dependent to another object. So state, for example, the chassis here. So we could see that this is this chassis, this object chassis, refers to another bin, which is the chassis bin. So this is the chassis bin, and we could see that this chassis bin is a rectangle. So here we could see the length and width and the location, the same as what was the properties here. And since the length and width are primitive values, we could initialize values here. So for the length and width, I initialize 2 for the length and 10 for the width. Then since location is a reference type, I still have a reference here, which means that it refers to another bin, which is the chassis location bin. So it is here, located here. So the properties here could be also seen in the location class. So here we have the X, Y, and Z, and since we are creating a 2D, I will only be using X and Y. So here I defined my X with 3 and my Y with 5. So to run this code, these are the results. So to better visualize this, I will be using a graph. So here, so this is the graph of these results. So for our car, the location, it is at the location 3 for X and 5 for Y. So here you could see it here. Then for the body, the trapezoid, the X is 5 and the Y is 7. So this is the height, which is 3 and 4 for our top. And for our base, we have 6. Then for our chassis, the rectangle here, so its X is 3 and the Y is 5. Then for its length, we have 2. Then for our width, we have 10. Then for our headlights, here we have the location 13 for the X and 7 for the Y, and we have the ratio 0.4. So for our wheels, in our front wheels, we have, for our big circle, we have X for 10, then Y 6 for Y. Then for our radius, we have 1.3. Then for our small circle, we have 10 for X, then 6 for Y. And for the radius, we have 1.0. Then the same dimension was also here for our rear wheels. So this is how I created the car model.